Here's how they line up for race 2 for the NZV8s from the ITM 400. Angus Fogg, race 1 winner, starts off the pole alongside John McIntyre. Craig Baird from the second row alongside Andy Booth. We believe that Baird will start out of pit lane, having changed to wet tyres.
Following on there, we've got Andy Knight, of course, Wade Henshaw, the only man that took the gamble on slick tyres in race 1. Eddie Bow, of course, following next row. Row 5 is Matt Lockwood alongside Scott McLaughlin. Then we go back to Nick Ross and John Penny. For Henry Kane Scott, of course, bit of a disastrous weekend. David Hopper, John Hepburn. Next door to him, Simon Richards. Then we go back to Dean Perkins, Tim Edgell, Christina Orr-West and Martin Short. And completing the lineup, Paul Manuel, Gene Rollinson and Hayden McKenzie. We're ready to go racing. Race 2 for the NZV8s from Hamilton. Angus Fogg, John McIntyre off the front row. We've got some cars to start out of pit lane. Lights are out. We are go. Already the guys are doing nothing. Eddie Bow, Wade Henshaw getting into each other. Blinding start there, have to say, by Wade Henshaw. Andy Boothie's getting squeezed between Andrew Anderson, Eddie Bow in there. Andy Anderson with a great start as the cars still to come out of pit lane, headed by Craig Baird. Eddie Bow sideways out of turn number 1. Whatever Wade Henshaw tyre setup he's got, he is racing. He's already up to 3rd. Here we go, the guys starting from pit lane, of course. So there's Andy Knight coming out behind Kane Scott. Angus Fogg with the race lead. Henshaw's got through to the 3rd position. He started out of position 6. Oh, sideways. I think that was Boothie off the exit of 2. Yeah, it looked like a bit of damage, but of course it's not just the tyres pumping the water dry. These guys are so tentative here at this stage. Get through the first couple of corners, but they got the chicane to negotiate the turn at number 4 off the back straight here at Hamilton. Tiptoeing their way through the chicane. Oh, hardly tiptoeing, mate. They're actually mothering the curbs there, all 4 of them. Andy Anderson and Andy Booth. Booth up the inside. He'll pick up the position. Nick Ross followed him through as well. Scott McLaughlin, he's in there. He had a great run from the back of the field to 11th in race number 1 to consolidate his rookie championship points lead, with Martin Short having some issues. David Hopper, he's got a fantastic start as well. Got a little bit of contact there with Johnny Hepburn. Here's a peek antifreeze replay. This is Angus Fogg. He was the first car through to the chicane. Oh, he's actually mistimed that, and he's got a fair chunk of that 3rd and final tyre bundle. Do not want to do that too often, young Angus. Oh, that'll give supper. That'll give the team a big headache. And there's the onboard from John McIntyre. Angus Fogg is done. Imagine what Johnny was thinking and all that, can't you? But here we go. Wade Henshaw being defensive on Eddie Bow. Andy Booth could be the beneficiary out of all of this. Scotty McLaughlin, Matt Lockwood, Nick Ross, David Hopper, John Hepburn, and Eddie Bell to the inside of Wade Henshaw. The 2 Falcons going at it side by side. Henshaw will not concede this place easily. At this stage, he's got no option. Look for the crossback. He's got to run back on the inside. If he can stay there, he will take the position. This is the battle for 3rd on track. Oh, contact! Yeah, not at all surprising. Eddie Bell holds on to it, though. Boy, that was an awkward part of the racetrack. It's wet. They're charging under brakes into turn number 3, and I mean, probably approaching that turn off that short straight out of 2. They'd be doing, what, 160 plus? Whatever the speed is, you certainly don't want to make contact in these conditions. But look, when the car, Andrew Anderson there was going to say, when the cars are landing, because it's still a little bit wet there on these tyres, the cars start to move around, but one car almost completely sideways there. I think it was Matt Lockwood. There's Andrew Anderson. He finished in 8th in race number 1. There's Timmy Edgell now. He started from towards the rear of the field, and he's storming his way forward. Yes, he's a man here in the back of the pitch there, one of the championship contenders, Craig Baird. So he's already made his place up to 17th. Could be 16th any minute. Just shading Martin Short through traffic. So we know Craig Baird changed to wets. We know Andy Knight. We assume Andy Knight was doing the same thing. Certainly they had the wet tyres sitting there ready to go, but we believe Craig Baird's gone from slicks to wets and started out of pit lane. But how big a deficit can he make up? Here's another peak antifreeze replay. Now, this is the moment between Bell and Henshaw. Oh, hold your breath. Right, actually, it could have been a completely different result. I'm thankful it wasn't. On board with John McIntyre. Here's his view on it. Again, 2 into 1 just doesn't work on the approach to turn number 3, but they got away with it. So Angus Fogg, he's just set the fastest lap at a 1:42.18. And he's got a 1.6 second advantage over John McIntyre. Could it be
possible for Foggy to tie up the championship. If he leaves this race with more than a 75-point lead over Baird and McIntyre, be a little bit out of the equation for McIntyre, so may not have that opportunity. But Craig Baird is in behind Martin Short, and they are up inside the top 15.
There you go.
On board with Martin Short, that's Craig Baird to right a screen before the chicane.
Comes a battle which, doesn't it, of which, of course, Dean Turk is coming a factor in this as well. Paul Manuel, he started towards the rear of the field because of his indiscretions after race 1.
So Craig Baird on the move, trying to go forward. John Penny just ahead of him in 13th. Baird to the inside of Shorts. He'll get the job done to ITM and sideways.
Oh no, he's lost, he's gathered it. There's so much room on the outside, Paul Manuel, so...
He lost 3 positions out of it though.
Tried to gain 1 and lost 3, but that's motorsport for you.
Whoa, what a recovery. Andy Knights just getting out of it, trying to get by Gene Rollinson, who DNF race 1. He went off right on the last lap. I believe he cut a right rear tyre.
Yeah, you were saying it was quite strange because it was the unworking side of the tyres. He knew something was quite right. The team couldn't see the fault and decided to keep circulating, and 1 corner to go, and I think he was 7th at the time. Couldn't quite bring it home, but...
There's Andy Booth up the inside away to Henshaw, just as John McIntyre has set the fastest lap of the race on lap number 4. He's chasing down Angus Fogg, the championship leader and the race leader. Here's another Peak Antifreeze replay. This is Craig Baird getting it wrong. Down into ITM turn number 7. So it's all on here as Baird has a narrow escape, you've got to say. So Andy Booth on the charge going forward. He's got by Wade Henshaw. He just seems to be fading a little bit now at this sort of 3rd race distance mark. He was so good early.
Certainly had a hit of steam in the first couple of laps, but they might have engineered that car to come on very strong. But talk about engineering a car, come on strong. Johnny Mack and the JMR team, whatever they're doing to work, a slow car in front of them. Hopefully that won't become a factor in this battle here, but this is now the championship hub effectively because Craig Baird is back in 16th place with that tyre gamble.
So John McIntyre, he was faster than Fogg by about half a second on the last lap, and he's right up underneath the rear wing of the LG Ford.
The LG boys will be on the radio saying, look, it'd be nice to win this race, but we do not have to win it. All you got to do is finish behind Johnny McIntyre. You can serve your leave in the championship. Here's Johnny down the inside, thinking better of it because it's on the dirty line. Nothing come of it.
On board with John McIntyre, chasing down Angus Fogg. And there's a lap car immediately in front of him. Simon Richards does a good job, though, and moves aside and leads. Lets the championship front runners get through to the inside under brakes into turn number 2. Flash of flame there from Fogg's exhaust. McIntyre's right in behind him. Might have been a little touch there in turn 2.
Nothing else, but the man that's going to be take advantage of this the most is Eddie Bow. Currently fastest man on the track at 1 minute 40.1. So car speed, of course, he'll also benefit from these guys battling because they'll be taking speed out of each other. A good result if he didn't get right back on these guys, wouldn't it, in battle, considering what he's been through for the whole championship.
Yeah. And Andy Booth's coming with him through the chicane. Fogg leads. Here comes McIntyre, though. Doesn't get the job done, but he's all over the back of Fogg.
He's got to run on him. He's got to run on him now, coming into turn 6.
Looking to the inside, McIntyre's got the line.
He's on the dirty line, though. No, look at that. Hard across the instantly right into the dry line. Maximum braking again. That there is the thinking of a very smart, mature racing driver.
As Andy Booth leads, Wade Henshaw further back. So John McIntyre, your new race leader. So a lead position change, and Angus can afford to be a little bit conservative. He doesn't need this race, doesn't need to win this race. He just needs to keep John McIntyre relatively close. But he's now vulnerable to the likes of Eddie Bell as we watch the Peak Antifreeze replay. This is Craig Baird up the inside of Martin Short.
Martin Short, yeah, but you're right. What Angus has to do, though, Angus has to keep circulating, because if he concedes one more spot to Eddie Bell, then all of a sudden, Andy Booth, Wade Henshaw and Andrew Anderson, who's had a blinding job there, he's going to come under the attention of him as well. So he cannot afford to be too complacent here and give away too many spots, because all of a sudden, the freight train is going to come through.
Well, John McIntyre started this race 52 points down.
He's got to run on him. Angus is backed out of this. He doesn't want to get involved in it. The problem is, Jamie, is that when you start conceding too many places, then the tyres start cooling off, the brakes start cooling off. You see Wade Henshaw.
Angus Fogg's got a problem. Angus Fogg has a problem.
The championship leader is slowing.
Oh, unbelievable.
Flat
that is
tyre.
heartbreak for Angus Fogg.
Okay, this is not exactly the script we thought was going to happen, but...
Well, he's limping around, but certainly... Is it a driveline issue?
Either way, it's certainly not accelerating. This effectively gives the lead of the championship to Johnny McIntyre,
who, going back a couple of rounds, was more than 100 points out of the championship lead.
We're trying to listen for noises here. I don't know why we're both leaning towards the screen, so we're not going to hear anymore. But look, either way, it's certainly not going anywhere. So where does that put Craig Baird now? He's back in 15th position, so he's still got a lot of work to do with that tyre gamble he had.
Oh, that is unbelievably cruel luck for Angus Fogg. He's done such an amazing job to lead this championship. The LG Ford limping around the Hamilton Street circuit, out of contention in race number 2, and you'd have to think probably the championship, but we've still got one more race left to go this weekend. So John McIntyre, the race leader, and he's just set the fastest lap of the race at a 1:38.1699.